Arc logic has come a long way. It had some screen shake, some muzzle flash, it became more usable, now it's flipped upside down with a brand new perk pull. So in today's video, I want to talk about the new perk combinations to be looking for on arc logic. I have what I believe to be the god roll for PvP, but even then, is that even good enough? The first thing, to me, new auto rifles coming in, whether they're brand new or just returning with new perks, they're tough. PvE wise, the auto rifle seems to always come up in the artifact, anti-barrier, whatever it is for the champion. Gnawing Hunger is sitting right there for that, so is Summoner. But those are Void and Solar, Arc completes the trio. You would need something special on it, and Arc logic does have some special rolls. Are they better than before? In a different way, it's just different, and unfortunately, you're gonna need more of a perfect roll than ever before. Arc logic is arc, 600 RPM, that's a really big thing going for it. It's the only arc adaptive 600 other than hard light. Other arc autos that are good are going to be the 450 shadow price and the number. Arguably, those are better for PvE and even some PvP options. The stats are average, nothing stands out. There's no poor stats, it's all right in the middle of the pack. That means you're going to have to look for perks. I plan to cover more moon weapons in the next week or two, and I've seen a lot of people not happy with the new perk rolls for the moon weapons. And for some of them, really good, some of them really bad, and for some of them it opens up a unique experience. It came from a pretty good perk pool, things like Overflow, Field Prep, Outlaw, Moving Target, Subsistence paired with Demolitionist, Tap the Trigger, Rampage, Rangefinder. None of these perks can roll now. Overflow Rampage, Subsistence Rampage, Moving Target Rangefinder. All great, but can't roll anymore. So now, for your barrel and magazine, really anything helps because it's in the middle of the pack. Small bore is just a nice middle ground, Fluted's always great for the handling. The total range band is going to be 24.5 meters with no range perks, all the way up to 28.5 meters with max range perks. It has a 47 recoil direction stat, it's going to pull left, so Arrowhead Break is going to get you to 77. And as I go on here, I'm going to bring this back up. Arrowhead is my personal top pick for reasons. If not, and ultimately, just get the most stats that you can with the least penalty to them. Magazine, PvP, accurized or steady rounds, PvE, appended mag, tac mag, or alloy mag. For the perks, I'm going to go over them in depth and kind of tie it together with how it can fit with arc logic. For the first column, we have Tunnel Vision. Reloading after a kill grants plus 20 aim assist, a 20% accuracy bump, and an aim down sight speed bump for 6 seconds. It's a great perk. Heating Up, one of my favorites. Final blows with this weapon increase accuracy, stability, and improves vertical recoil. No reloads needed as you get a kill. Heating Up goes on the screen, ×1, ×2. ×1 gives 15% more accuracy and plus 15 stability. ×2 gives 30% more accuracy and plus 30 stability. It makes the weapon feel great. You land more shots with the accuracy and stability buff. Killing Wind, final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. So a tad bit more range, plus 50 mobility, and importantly, a 30% reduced aim down sight's movement speed penalty. It's a great perk. Surplus increased handling, stability, and reload speed for each charged ability. Remember, if you have 2 grenades and 1 melee, or 2 melees and 1, let's say, class ability, if you hit max 3 charges, you're at max surplus. And those numbers, depending on if you have 1, 2, or 3 charged ability, reload is plus 5, plus 22, plus 50. Handling, 5, 25, 50, and stability, 5, 15 if you have 3 charges, plus 23 stability. Feeding Frenzy, get to a ×5, a faster reload as the stat gets higher. Then Slideways. After sliding, you get some magazine back in, you get plus 20 stability and 25 handling for the duration of 3 seconds after the slide. And the last perk column, Adrenaline Junkie. It can work with grenade builds. There's some stuff on the artifact this season that you can really get them going. Remember, you can even have weapons stowed and it's going to count. You can have Anarchy out, get a grenade kill. When you go to Arc Logic, Adrenaline Junkie is going to be there. It lasts for 10 seconds. ×1, 10%, ×2, 21%, ×3, 33% more damage. It's basically Rampage. Frenzy, being in combat for 12 seconds, grants you 15% more damage, gives you 50 handling and reload. Though nerfed, still a good perk. Wellspring, kills with this weapon generate ability energy. The energy is divided between uncharged abilities, so each kill grants 7.5% ability energy. Surrounded, gain bonus damage when 3 or more enemies are around, 30% more when the perk is up. Then you have the Surrounded spec. Sympathetic Arsenal, reloading after a kill reloads all stowed weapons, and as a reminder, the trick you can do with Izanagi and the kinetic. Maybe you're doing a lost sector, maybe it's arc burn, or you need arc to break shields, and you want to use this AR as your anti-barrier, your champion mod. You can load in ×4 into Izanagi, stow it, run around with your Sympathetic Arsenal weapon, and in this case, Arc Logic, get some kills, reload. When you do, it reloads all of your stowed weapons, and you pull Izanagi back out, it's going to have 4 in the mag. The first shot is going to shoot a ×4, the big shot, and then the next 3 are just going to be regular sniper shots. It's really useful. And finally, Elemental Capacitor. Depending on your subclass, you get increased stats. Arc plus 30 handling, Solar plus 37 reload, Void plus 18 stability, and a new one, Stasis, plus 20 recoil direction and 5% aimed on sights movement speed penalty reduction. The role that you've been seeing in PvP is Killing Wind, Elemental Capacitor. Rare perk combination, only 11 weapons can roll these two perks together. Elemental Capacitor is great wherever you use it, but I specifically wanted this role for a Stasis subclass with Killing Wind. You have a tad bit faster strafe with Stasis, and on top of that, it does stack with Killing Wind after a kill. So in full force, when Killing Wind is up, it's a 35% aim down sights movement speed penalty reduction. You're flying around. And earlier I talked about Arrowhead Break. If you have Arrowhead Break and Stasis Elemental Capacitor, that is plus 50 to the recoil direction. It goes from 47 to 97. So you'd have near perfect recoil direction, and you're just strafing around with that 35%. All that it gives, it's just really fun. It does make people miss. Pure dueling, fun 6v6 weapon. I don't recommend it in 3v3. It's gonna win you some ones out in the open, but cover beats it. In the end, it really is a unique experience getting all that going. It has a 0.8 TTK, 8 crit, 1 body. The 140s are back in the game more and more now. They also have a 0.8. Try to catch people out in the open so they can't use their cover. There's also going to be heating up with Elemental Capacitor. You can get on a Void subclass for the stability bump and the bump that heating up gives you at a ×2. You'll have near max stability or maybe surplus elemental. There's a ton of options. It turned into a straight dueling 600, but honestly, it's fun and all. But gnawing hunger with kill clip or multi-kill clip, it's right there. It's too good. Summoner, it's pinpoint accurate. I would get this AR in PvP if you want to try something new or try that Stasis, Killing Wind, Elemental Capacitor experience. If not, the other 600s have just a little bit more for PvP and are going to beat it. You can make a ton of PvP combinations work, but it's mostly just pure dueling. PvE wise, it's a shell of its former self. The main reason to use it, Arc Auto Rifle. Maybe you don't have a good shadow price, maybe you want to use a specific role that Arc Logic has. Those roles, pound for pound, I believe, are going to be Feeding Frenzy and Frenzy for the 15% more damage, plus 50 reload from Frenzy, and that's going to stack with the Feeding Frenzy stack bonus. So there's a scaler on there, so it's going to be pretty fast. Another one's going to be Feeding Frenzy or Heating Up with Surrounded, 30% more damage with a fast reload and a little bit more stability if you go that Heating Up route. And then Feeding Frenzy and Sympathetic Arsenal. Get kills, fast reload that reloads all your stowed weapons. Killing Wind can substitute Node 1 with these other perks for the range, the overall weapon feel, but I do believe that those are the real winners for it. If I were to keep grinding for this auto rifle, that's what I would be doing. It's going to be up to you if you can find them useful. If not, no big deal. But when I broke it down, that's what I see. You have to combine the perks to get a somewhat usable role. The perk pool turned into more of a dueling weapon for the Crucible. I wanted Killing Wind Elemental, I got it. I'm gonna use it from time to time, and I might go for Heating Up Elemental Capacitor. PvE, I can honestly tell you that I will be using the Sympathetic Arsenal one. There are only 17 weapons in the game that have that perk, and I try to have each weapon type with it. Auto Rifle, Scout, Sidearm, and so on. I do use the perk in PvE. I can throw Anarchy on, switch to the auto rifle or whatever it is that has the perk, get some kills, reload, and then I go back and my grenade launcher is reloaded. Now, the number, the 450 auto, is also arc, but that's gonna be a little bit harder to get, so I have this one. Otherwise, if you get it and you don't want this, I would go Feeding Frenzy, Frenzy. I do feel like a lot of you won't find the value though. It's barely there. My main thing is Sympathetic Arsenal, because if you get some just random roll that throws perks together, it's not gonna perform too well. You have to combine them, boost up the stats and the feel, and make it have a job. It was like a 7 out of 10 weapon with its old perks, now it feels like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. The main thing that will or can keep it relevant, Arc Auto Rifle. That's going to be on the artifact, and certain perks that can be useful with it. It's going to be up to you to see just how useful it can be for you. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. If you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. You can use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about Arc Logic and some of the returning moon weapons down below. I plan to cover a few more soon. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.